What up, fam? It's your boy, Slenderboy2024, streaming to you live. Yeah, coming a day or two late with this Thanksgiving special. I apologize for that, but one of the hardships of filming outside all the time is there's always some problem, right? It's always either too dark, or it's raining all night, or it's like 20 below zero and I'm freezing and I can't talk, and there's always some issue. But regardless, I'm here now. What matters is I'm here now, and I have something very important to say. How's everyone's Thanksgiving? Did you all have a good, dinner? Did anyone get the Arby's gobbler sandwich? It's pretty good. It's a little expensive, but it's pretty good for you get what you pay for with the new gobbler sandwich from Arby's. But yeah, I love doing like the Netflix reviews, and I thought I would do like a special double Thanksgiving themed review. I was talking to my buddy the other day. There are no Thanksgiving movies, not really. So that's always like a struggle. Like, oh, what do I put on? Like when it's like Halloween or Christmas, there's no issue at all. Like you can find a movie to put on. But with Thanksgiving, it's like I have certain like holiday in general themes. Like I like that romantic comedy Holiday with Emma almost said Emma Myers. No, Emma Roberts. But that wasn't a Thanksgiving specific movie. That was like kind of they ran the whole gamut of holidays in that one, but I kind of count that one. But yeah, I have two here. I have a recommendation, and this actually makes a pretty good double feature for the family. I have Freebirds versus Chicken Run Dawn of the Nugget on Netflix. This one was closer than I thought it would be. I thought that there would be a clear winner here, and I made a quick note of like the Rotten Tomatoes scores of the two movies. Chicken Run Dawn of the Nugget, it got an 83% on Rotten Tomatoes. It did pretty well. Freebirds got a 20% on Rotten Tomatoes. It did not fare as well. There was some. This movie has kind of a reputation. There was some blood in the water with Freebirds. It kind of reminds me of when Pixels came out, and like everyone was just hating on that movie. The Rotten Tomatoes score is like 15% or something, and then I eventually watched it and I was like, oh, this isn't. I mean, it's not going to win any Academy Awards, but this isn't that bad. This is like a fun summer movie. I don't know why everyone has a pull up their ass about Pixels all of a sudden. And I kind of had the same reaction to Freebirds. Both of these, well, at least Freebirds has turkeys in it. It is a movie about Thanksgiving, actually, so this is a better choice. Chicken Run is a better movie, but it's about chickens. It doesn't really have much to do with Thanksgiving per se, but I picked it for this this double feature. Hang on to your nuggets. Dawn of the Nugget. There you go. Nuggets, Nugget. It works. It's a good double feature. I mean, it's been a minute. I'm gonna start with the better film here, Chicken Run Dawn of the Nugget. It's been a minute. I haven't seen the original Chicken Run, I think, since it came out in 2000. That movie came out 25 fucking years ago. Can you a quarter century? It took them a quarter century to make a sequel to this movie. That's crazy. That's crazy. And just so you know, I'm going to explore this on Netflix right after this video, but I didn't realize, so the original Chicken Run, it just had like some anniversary, so it was back in theaters, but it's also on Netflix, and so is this. The sequel was made for Netflix, Chicken Run Dawn of the Nugget, and a bunch of the Aardman movies, the Wallace and Gromit movies, the Shaun the Sheep movies, those are all on Netflix as well for the time being, so I would also check those out. I haven't seen any of those, actually. And I'm a huge sucker for stop motion animation. I think it's a dying or dead art. Pretty much the only, I always forget about Aardman Studios, but Leica Studios, the people that made Paranorman and Coraline, they're like the only ones keeping it alive, basically. They're the only ones keeping it alive. But yeah, I love stop motion animation. I'll watch anything. I will watch anything with stop motion animation. That is how biased I am towards a stop motion movie. So there's going to be a clear winner here, but it was actually... It was closer than I thought it would be. I don't agree with the Rotten Tomatoes scores. I'll say this right off the bat. Dawn of the Nugget, I would score a little lower. I say it's like a 73%. The original Chicken Run is just so good. I haven't seen it in a while, but that movie is legendary. That movie holds up. That's like a 9 out of 10. This is like an okay sequel. It suffers from sequelitis, where it's diminishing returns. Is that the phrase? I would give this like a 73%, and then Freebirds, it's not good, it's not great, but it's passable, it's fine. I really don't know what people were so mad about with this movie, and with the low bar of Thanksgiving movies, aka like nothing. There's that terrible horror movie series Thanksgiving. You want to compare it to that? Yeah, this isn't that bad. This is like a 60%. I give it like a 63. It's like 73 versus 63%. It's a lot closer than I thought it would be. But let me go into so Chicken Run Dawn of the Nugget, right? And it's been forever since I saw the first one, but basically it's kind of a reversal where in the first film it's all about Rocky and Ginger, and they're stuck in this chicken farm. This horrible woman, she wants to like turn all the chickens into pies or whatever to make a profit, and they're trying to escape. It was a loose adaptation of the movie The Great Escape, starring Steve McQueen. This is kind of the opposite, where this time they're breaking into a farm, because now that was like my biggest question, is like, it's one of those sequels where it's like, well, the first movie was so self-contained, it wrapped up so perfectly. They go off in like the air balloon, they go to their chicken paradise, their chicken island, and they live happily ever after. What could you possibly do now, right? And they struggle with that. But basically, Ginger and Rocky, they obviously had like a little romance in the first film. Now they are indeed a couple, and they had a daughter named Molly. And honestly, this is a bit of a stretch, but like the plot of this movie reminded me quite a bit of, I believe it or not, I was thinking of when was the last time you thought of Little Mermaid 2? The Little Mermaid 2, do you remember that shit? I was really thinking of that, because in this movie, like the two previous protagonists, like they're a couple now, they have a daughter, and the movie's kind of more about the daughter. Like, so this sequel, it's just like Melody in Little Mermaid. Well, the thing I liked about that was Ariel in the first movie, she was all about like, oh, I want to explore what's out there, I want to explore the surface world. And Melody was a nice like inverse of that, where Melody was kept on dry land and she wasn't allowed to check out the ocean world. So she was like the opposite. She wanted to embrace her mermaid heritage. So I don't know. I kind of, people give that sequel a lot of shit, and it's I don't love it, but like I think it's okay. And that's actually what I would say about this. Like, so similarly, just like Melody in Little Mermaid 2, their daughter Molly, she's safe. She's like in this chicken paradise, but she can never leave the confines of the island, right? And she's always just like Melody and Ariel. She's like, oh well, what's out there? Like, what's beyond the wall? What's out? What I want to see what's out there in the world. And her parents won't let her go. It's that classic dynamic of like the parents are just trying to keep her safe. She's the rebellious teen daughter. She wants to go out exploring, but they're like, no, it's too dangerous. But then she finds out that they were like freedom fighters back in the day. She's like, well, you guys used to go out there and do dangerous shit, so why can't I? And they're like, oh, no, it's different now. It's different. It's different when your parents, like, now they don't want to go on adventures no more. And that was a nice little twist, actually, when Ginger first finds out that, the plot of the movie is that once again, there's like another evil farmer rounding up chickens, going to kill them and sell them, this time turning them into crispy nuggets, buckets of nuggets. And as soon as Ginger finds out, she holds a town meeting, and they're all like, oh, here we go. She's gonna tell us we all have to fight for the chicken rights or whatever. And she's like, all right, so we need to hide and be quiet because we don't want the farmers to discover our paradise, and we're just gonna stay safe. And everyone's like, what? And she's like, well, I used to be a certain way, but now I'm a mother and I have more, concern with my daughter's safety. I'm like, oh, that was a nice little twist there. Okay. But Molly, of course, she can't be contained. She sneaks off the island. She makes a friend out in the wilderness, and they both get captured by the new evil farmer, yada yada. Now Ginger and Rocky and all the rest of the old team have to get back together and break into this new super high-tech farm. This farm has like way better security than any farm should ever have in history. Like the first movie, it was just like a normal farm. Like they had some guard dogs, but that was it. And you had like the farmer with a pitchfork or whatever. But this is like a freaking sci-fi facility. Like they have like robot guards and like freaking like trip mines and like motion sensors and like all this like crazy shit, heat-seeking missiles. And I'm like, okay, what happened here? I mean, it's fun, but it is like a bit crazy. But yeah, now it's the opposite. Now they have to break in to rescue Molly. Because if Molly hadn't been curious, if she hadn't left the island, then there would be no plot, because there was no conflict. The only conflict was when she created one by like finding out, oh, well, other chickens in other communities are being taken, and that will always be the case. So this series will never end, basically, because and that's kind of how the movie ends, is like they find, even though they resolve the plot, they're like, well, there's other farms and there's other chickens being kidnapped. I'm like, okay, so this could go on forever, right? And I found out that so this movie dropped 2 years ago on Netflix. I don't know. I just found out about it. I don't know how I didn't know about this fucking movie. It came out in 2023, but this year, there's a new video game called Chicken Run Extraction, like EGG, Egg Extraction, and that game continues the story from this movie, where they're continuing on and, you know, rescuing other farms and shit. And I'm like, damn, like, and it has like stop motion cutscenes and stuff. It looks really cool. I might actually have to play that game. It looks like one of the few good tie-in video games. But like, I'm just in shock. I'm sitting here in shock because the first movie came out 25 years ago, and all of a sudden we're having this Chicken Run renaissance. Like, what's going on here? We have a new movie, we have a new video game. Like, what the fuck is going on here? I suppose I should talk about the elephant in the room, which is Rocky, who in the first film was played by Mel Gibson. He is not played by Mel Gibson in this movie. you will notice, you know, quite a difference. And like, his character is totally different too. I don't know why you didn't just like create a new character at this point, because Rocky, I'm gonna sidestep. Obviously, Mel Gibson is, you know, why couldn't Mel Gibson be in this movie? Tell me why, chat. Why couldn't Mel be in this movie? He is controversial for many reasons. I won't get into any of that because we'll be here all night. Setting that aside, the real life controversy, setting that aside, I do think Mel Gibson's a good actor. I think he has a really cool voice, and it's unfortunate because I thought Rocky had a really cool voice in the first movie, and the guy they got to replace him was Zachary Levi, Shazam. He's fine, but it's not what you want. Like, again, I don't know why. I understand the decision to recast, but I don't know why. I'm sure you could have found someone who sounds like Mel Gibson, right? You could have found, but like, it's night and day. It's like, it's the difference between like, Ginger, we need to go, versus like, hey guys, Molly, you can't go off campus. Like, you know, it's dangerous out there, girl. Like, you know, like Shazam, like Zachary, he gets typecast a lot because he's really good at the kid-friendly voice, like playing characters like Shazam, or he was also Harold in the Purple Crayon. You know, he's good in that role. He's good at what he does. But here it's doesn't. And they're going for a very different character because now Rocky is very domesticated. He's a beta. You know, he's a husband. He's a father. He's way more. He doesn't factor into the movie that much, honestly. Whereas in the first movie, he was a huge key player, and he was definitely an alpha male. He was definitely like the guy who got shit done. In this, he's just so different. I don't love it. I don't hate him, but I also don't love it. I kind of miss the first movie version of Rocky. So there's that. I mean, sure, people change. People, you know, become domesticated. People, you know, create a family and all that stuff. People get the dad bod and all that. But like, I don't know. It's not what I wanted. It's not what I wanted for Rocky. And I want someone who sounded like Mel Gibson. I know you can't get the real one, but like, you can, like, what was it? The Telltale video game for Back to the Future. They didn't get Michael J. Fox, but they found a guy who just sounds just like him. You know what I mean? Like, there's people out there who can pretty much sound like anyone. You know what I mean? The rest of the voice cast was fine. No real standouts to me. I guess I'll go into spoilers. What spoilers there are. There's not much to spoil, but like about halfway through the movie, it's revealed that like, yeah, who do you think's running the farm? It's I can't even remember her name now, but the villain from the first movie, Mrs. Tweed or whatever, Mrs. Tweed. And she had a husband. I don't know what happened to him, but like, she's like married to this new doctor, and she even says it like, you know, this is my current husband. And she's even kind of like hitting on like the new guy. There's like this Colonel Sanders type of character who's like trying to, you know, market her chicken nuggets, and she's like kind of hitting on him, and so they're kind of implying that like she's getting ready to move on to husband number 3, or I kind of like that. But I was like, it's been forever since I saw the first movie, but didn't she get dropped out of an airplane? Didn't she die in the first movie? I swear I thought she did. And then in this movie, it's also like she survives death a couple of times, where it's like, there's a great thing. There's a climax at the end where she's once again chasing them with the hatchet. There's just a lot of like repeated beats from the first movie, and it's like, all right, you know, But yeah, she's chasing them with the hatchet again, and something happens, or I forget, but like someone knocks the hatchet out of her. It gets like tied to a string, and it gets knocked out of her hand, and it's like kind of boomerangs back around, and so she like turns around as the hatchet's like, you know, somersaulting towards her, and I was like, holy shit, is she about to be like beheaded? Like, or at least like off screen you'll see her silhouette get beheaded or some shit. Like, what's gonna, you know? And of course, like, it just so happens that the hatchet like flips a certain way so that the non-sharp side smacks her in the head and knocks her out, and I'm like, okay, so like that was very convenient. And then she falls into the crusher, the chicken nugget maker, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's how they'll imply that she's dead. But then she emerges from that and somehow is still alive. She's just like a giant nugget person. So like that didn't kill her either. And then like then she's on top of the car and she gets like thrown off of the car, but then she survives that. And I'm like, okay, all right, that's enough. That's enough, lady. That's enough. But yeah, beautiful stop motion animation. It's just so nice to see a stop motion animated film in 2025. Please go support that movie. Check it out on Netflix. And then you might as well watch the first. I'm gonna go back and watch the first one because it's been so damn long, and I still prefer that, honestly. But there's some cool new technology. I'm trying to think. There's some jokes that I liked. They have a lot of like puns. They have a lot of like dad jokes, which I like. So it really depends, but it's my type of humor. So for example, one of my favorite gags is they're breaking into the facility, right? And there's a door that it has like a retinal scanner. And again, this is just a stupid chicken farm. Why is there a high-tech door with a retinal scanner? But anyway, it's like a supervillain lair. But anyway, so what they do is they have a Polaroid camera and they stun the guard by taking a flash photo of his face, or specifically of his eyeball, and then they use that Polaroid of his eyeball on the retinal scanner to open the door. I don't know if that would work, but okay. But that was like a fun little gag. And then what happens is the guard is like sees the eyeball and she like opens up her little book for like the matching eyeball, and it says like iPad, like EYE pad, and I'm like, okay, that's funny. It has like a picture of everyone's eye at the facility, and there was like a little joke there too where the one guy, it says like he's night shift, and it shows that his eyeball is like totally red, like he hasn't slept at all. So that was funny. Yeah, I don't know. It's fine. It's fine. Check it out. I still prefer the first. But yeah, I'm glad they made it. It's just one of those. It just came out way too freaking late. Like past the point where I would really care as much. Like I wish this came out 10 years earlier. I said the same thing about the Netflix Invader Zim movie, where it's like, yeah, that came out at least 10 years too late, man. Like it's like, I mean, it's cool that they eventually made it, but like that is so old. That is so like past the point where it should have come out. It was hard to get excited again. Same thing I say with the Rocko's Modern Life movie on Netflix. Anyway, let's transition. Freebirds. So I don't like and it's funny because like I'm always trying to think of what the title is. I know what the movie is, and I know the poster, and it's funny. The poster is very much evoking Chicken Run, because you have these two birds running towards the screen. It looks like the Chicken Run poster. The title is too generic. Freebirds. I don't know why they called it that. Every time I look it up, I'm like, what's like the Turkey Time Machine Thanksgiving movie? And like this is what comes up, and I'm like, why not just call it Turkey Time Machine, right? I mean, it's a little on the nose, but like at least it's easier to remember. It's relevant. That's a way better title than Freebirds. Turkey Time Machine. Why not? But yeah, long story short, I don't remember character names in this. I'm gonna have to go by the actors. We have Owen Wilson and oh god, Woody Harrelson. I was trying to think of the guy from Hunger Games. Woody Harrelson are the two lead characters, and basically what happens is Owen Wilson's character, he's on this turkey farm and everyone's getting slaughtered for food, kind of like in Chicken Run, and he's like a little smarter than the rest of the bunch, and he basically escapes, but he doesn't escape. Okay, so here's what happens. And it's so funny because I have to admit that I'm kind of dumb here, and I didn't know this. Somehow I didn't know this. I guess I've been living under a rock, but he is spared because the president does his like presidential turkey pardon ceremony, where every year the president like chooses one turkey to spare or pardon, and that turkey like lives at the White House or whatever and gets adopted by them. I was like, I had to Google that because I was like, is that a thing? Is that really a thing? It is. I don't know how I didn't know about this, but yeah, so that's a big point in the. So I have to thank Freebirds for teaching me. I learned something from Freebirds. I have to give it that credit right there. But yeah, the president pardons this turkey. He lives at the White House. He's like ordering pizza and shit. And this is a movie that got a lot of flack for, like, for example, product placement, which, yeah, I agree. There's a lot of product placement in this movie. For example, well, it's interesting. When he's ordering the pizzas, right, he's like flipping through the TV channels, and he sees a pizza commercial, and the pizza commercial is not product placement. It's like that would be the time to do it, you would think, but it's not like a Chuck E. Cheese commercial or nothing. It just has like a generic, 199 pizza party, call this number. But when the pizzas arrive, all of the merchandise, all of the boxes say Chuck E. Cheese. So it's like, oh, he got Chuck E. Cheese pizza, but I don't know why they didn't. Why not at least turn that into a commercial? Literally, when he was watching TV, like that would have made more sense. But yeah, he gets Chuck E. Cheese pizza a lot, and that's just like a funny thing. And actually, it ties into the end of the movie. Spoilers, I guess I'll give as much as you can spoil this movie. The whole gist is like they need to go back in time to the first Thanksgiving to take turkeys off the menu, and they will say that so many times. Like this is the type of kids movie where like they need to repeat things because they don't think you're paying attention. You can make a drinking game out of that. How many times does one of these two say, "Oh, we need to go back in time to the first Thanksgiving, and this time we're taking turkeys off the menu," so because they don't want turkeys to be killed anymore for the Thanksgiving. So what they do at the end is Owen Wilson's like, oh well, I love pizza, so why don't we put pizza on the menu? And like that's how they resolve that at the end. It's like, okay, whatever. Yeah, I'm trying to remember that it wasn't super funny. It wasn't horrible. Again, a lot of the jokes were very basic. It was like type of like puns type of stuff, like they'd say, oh, are you hungry? Yeah, I'm feeling peckish, or like, oh, that's like murder most foul, like FOWL, like little jokes like that, like kind of get a chuckle out of me, but like they're not super hilarious. Yeah, and that's like the president's daughter. She's the one that adopts him. I thought she would like play a bigger role in the movie. She really doesn't. Like as soon as he leaves the White House and runs into Woody Harrelson, all of the White House characters don't really matter anymore. Because he runs into Woody Harrelson, and Woody Harrelson like gets him on board the time machine. That I still don't really understand it, but like he's been given these like special missions from like the Great Turkey, and it's all very mysterious. Like, who is the Great Turkey? And then it turns out it's like a time thing where like I guess Owen Wilson turns out to be the Great Turkey, but doesn't remember that he's the Great Turkey or something. I don't know. I stopped caring. I stopped caring by that point. What's her name? She's not on the poster actually, but there is like a little romance. They go back in time to the first Thanksgiving, and they meet all these like Native American turkeys, for lack of a better term, and he meets the chief's daughter, and she is played by Amy Poehler, aka Leslie Knope from Parks and Rec, and she's pretty funny. I always like her. So they have like a cute little romance, and there's a gag that, like, again, this is the type of movie where if a gag is funny once, they're going to do it 3 more times, and that's the problem with this movie. So the gag with his girlfriend is that he's like talking to her and she's pretty, but then she like turns her head and he realizes one of her eyes is like kind of googly, it's kind of like cross-eyed, and she's like, oh, what's wrong with my eye, or blah blah blah, and he's like, oh, nothing, it looks great. And she can do this thing where when she sucks on her thumb and like blows on it like she's blowing up a balloon, and her like face kind of puffs out a little bit, that will fix her eye. And so like it's whenever she gets really excited, her eye kind of goes googly. That was kind of funny the first time, but they're going to do that joke at least 4 more times in this movie, unfortunately. So like that's a knock against this movie. But yeah, I previously watched this at like a friend's party one time, but it was more of like I didn't really focus on it, and I was like kind of drunk, and we were just kind of hanging out and kind of half watching it. I remember hating it then, but rewatching it, honestly, it was a better experience. I expected to hate this movie. If you know about like The Asylum, like how The Asylum makes like knockoff movies that are like for like $1, like shoestring budget. I thought that's what this was. Like when the Pixar movie Brave came out, my friend wanted to see Brave. I kind of played a joke on her because I was like, oh, here you go, here's Brave on DVD already, and I got her something called Kiara the Brave, and it was like an Asylum knockoff of Brave, where it had like no animation budget at all. It looked absolutely terrible. It looked like trash. It looked like absolutely terrible. I thought this was. I was so afraid this would have like horrible animation to look at. It really doesn't. The animation is not bad at all. Some of the visuals are actually really good, especially when they get in like the time machine. The time machine's like shaped like an egg, and it's voiced by George Takei, and he's pretty funny as Steve. That's the name of the time machine. But yeah, any scene with the time machine flying around and taking off and stuff, like the visuals actually look good. Like when they go to space and everything, it looks really good. The character models for the humans and everything, honestly, they remind me of that Frozen, it's like Tangled or Frozen, like that 3D CG style. I don't love it, but it does look good. It looks appealing. Again, I obviously prefer stop motion over CGI any day of the week, but like for a CGI movie, this actually isn't that bad looking. I was really surprised and impressed by the visuals in this movie. And again, I can't remember now, but like some of the jokes were slightly hitting for like they were kind of funny. They were like everything was like almost funny. And the villain actually, the villain, I mean the woman here, the one hunting down the chickens, like she was pretty terrifying. She was pretty scary. But to its credit, Freebirds had a villain, this guy who was like a special, you know, imagine like a hunter, like imagine like Kraven the Hunter, but for turkeys. Like he was like a specialized turkey hunter in colonial times, but like he was like pretty intense actually. Like he would like walk around, you know, he's like this crazy cowboy character, and like the guys are, you know, some of the bad guys are sitting around the campfire talking shit about him, and he just shows up. He starts like, he has like this gourd full of like gunpowder. He just like pours the gunpowder on the fire and makes it blow up, and he's like, yeah, what'd you say about me? Like, you know, he has a couple of really cool scenes actually. So, and he was a pretty intimidating villain. He had like a crazy scar and everything, you know. So again, not like the greatest movie ever, but like, yeah, it was impressive. Like I was surprised at how much I was kind of enjoying it. So this is still better. I would give this like a solid 7 out of 10. This is like an above average. This is like a 6 out of 10. As far as it is actually a good. I will say this, and again, there's not really any other options. Like there's Thanksgiving, or there's like the horror movie Eli Roth did that's called Thanksgiving. That's a really graphic, violent movie. I like it, but like that's not like a family movie. You know what I'm trying to say? It's like I'm trying to talk about like Thanksgiving, right? Like you're having the family sit down, you know, grandma's over, your nieces and nephews are over. You're not going to put on Thanksgiving, which has sex scenes in it. You're not going to put on Thanksgiving, which has like graphic murder in it. You know, grandma can't handle that. You know what I'm trying to say? Where like, what's a good Thanksgiving movie to like show the family? Honestly, Freebirds. Honestly, I say put on Freebirds. It's probably not that hard to find on streaming. It's a clean 2 hours. It's, you know, beautifully animated, colorful, funny. The kids will love it. Grandma will like it. It is very much about Thanksgiving. The plot is very much about Thanksgiving. Yeah, for lack of a better option, I am going to go with Freebirds as your go-to Thanksgiving movie around the holiday. And it's funny to me. I was talking to my friend about like, you know, there's so many damn Christmas movies. There's so many damn Halloween movies. Can we like trade one for like a Thanksgiving movie, for crying out loud? And like, it shouldn't be that hard, because like the message is very much something you would want to make a movie about. Like what Thanksgiving is all about, like the family coming together, you know, setting aside their differences to share a meal for the holidays. Like families who like love each other, like, coming together. Like it should be the easiest thing in the world to make a movie about that around that holiday, right? Like I'm surprised more people don't make movies about Thanksgiving, but they just want to do like the Christmas dinner or whatever, like the family coming together for Christmas, that type of shit. But it's like I don't see why you couldn't do the exact same thing with Thanksgiving. So that's my hope, is that, you know, at some point we won't have to settle for, you know, animated crap like this, like Freebirds. Like eventually we'll get some authentic, real Thanksgiving movies that are actually pretty good, like on par with like the best Christmas or Halloween movies. That's my hope. But yeah, until then, this is my little late Thanksgiving double review. Freebirds is not as bad as people say it is. I don't know why it has the reputation that it has. Because I mean, I guess you look at the poster, the animation doesn't look great. It's better than you think it is. I'll put it that way. You need to see the movie in motion. The animation is a lot better than you think it is. And then Chicken Run doesn't really count. I'm kind of cheating, but like, yeah, it's poultry. It's poultry themed. So like, and it's a really good movie. So check out Chicken Run and check out the sequel. My one friend's always recommending Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. That's also a Thanksgiving movie. So check that one out. Thanksgiving, if you're in for like a cheesy, hard R-rated movie. Same thing with Thanksgiving, the Eli Roth Thanksgiving. Like if you're in the mood for like kind of a cheesy slasher movie, with great effects and everything, and some good scares. But yeah, no. We'll see what my next Netflix review is. I guess it'll probably be Christmas themed, and then there will certainly be no shortage of Christmas movies to talk about. So I'll see you guys then.